And joining me today is Lara Dutta, who never fails to light up the screen, and she's lighting mine up right now. Hello and welcome, Lara.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you for having me.
Great to connect with you. Firstly, where are you? I saw a picture of yours. Quite young. You were in New York then. I don't know where you are right now. You're a jet setter.
So I'm in the UK at the moment, and it's a pretty gloomy morning. Hopefully, the sun will come out in a little while.
Like I said, you brighten it up. So there you are. You're lovely and cheery.
Thank you.
And I think,
Thank you.
Lara, I feel like you're tired of people telling you how you look gorgeous and how you look the same that you did over all these years, which is why you changed it up and how with bell bottom, right?
I'm extremely grateful and thrilled for just all the feedback and the appreciation that's been coming my way since Bell Bottom's trailer dropped, and especially since the film has been in the theaters. And so you can imagine, I'm superbly excited about the fact that Bell Bottom is now on Amazon Prime from the 16th of September onwards, because that means that a wider audience gets to watch the film. And yeah, excited and nervous about just hearing the reactions that are going to come post that.
Well, yes, it released in August, took some great reviews, but not in Mumbai. So, for instance, I haven't been able to catch it yet, and I've been waiting to watch it. You know, before the film release, there was so much buzz about your look, and after there was buzz about your performance. What do you feel about that?
Well, I think, I mean, when the trailer dropped and people were talking about the transformation and, that the fact that they couldn't recognize me, and then obviously there was a lot of excitement that peaked for then people to watch the film. But I think for me, it was really important that people watch the film, because nailing a look is one thing. The second thing is being able to back it up with a performance. And I know the amount of work that went into really imbibing Mrs. Gandhi's body language, getting into her mind a little bit, considering that the film is inspired by true events that took place in her tenure, understanding the psyche of what the environment may have been like, at that time, how she would have reacted to things. So then once people have seen the film, to see the feedback that's come my way based purely on performance, I think for any actor is a dream come true. These are the moments that we live for.
Well, Lara, I think one similarity you share with Mrs. Gandhi is that you're also very eloquent. You never have a stray word here or there. I've never seen you ever fumble or search or be at a loss for words. But I think apart from that, you are very different to this character, like diametrically opposite.
Yes, I am. I don't look anything like Mrs. Gandhi did. Secondly, I mean, I've always been far more animated. I use my hands a lot when I'm talking. Even my face is far more animated than she ever was. Mrs. Gandhi was somebody who was always very understated. She was always very in control. There was nothing really that ruffled her. She couldn't stand fools, per se. She was extremely to the point, and she was a woman who existed in a man's world, and they all revered and feared her. So to step into, like I said, it's not just imbibing body language, but it's also stepping into the mind of a character like that. Took a fair amount of homework and preparation to do. And I think when Akshay offered me this film and he offered me this character, I mean, he saw a certain kind of body language that he thought that I would be able to bring, to playing Mrs. Gandhi. And that is what he was looking for in the actor that would play this part, that he wanted, a certain kind of gravitas that could be brought to the character's role. And it's a few things, very, very few things that actually coincided with how Mrs. Gandhi was. I am a strong-minded woman, as she was. Yeah, I'm used to existing in a man's world like she did. So there are a few things that you bring in, but then a lot of things that had to be created as well.
And both of you did it very successfully in your own way. And you made your debut in 2002 with Andaz. 2003, I think, it released Andaz
Yes.
with Akshay. So, of course, you've had such a long working relationship with him. And, very cool one. I know he made you learn swimming for Blue. And I know you both of you share very rich history. But, what has changed? What has remained the same and what has changed in all these years?
What's remained the same, I think, is the fact that both of us are still the people that we were who met each other 18 years ago. I mean, Akshay has had such an incredible trajectory himself. He's been somebody that I've really looked up to, as a friend, philosopher, and guide in this business. Apart from being just my very first co-star, he's also been somebody who's incredibly disciplined. He's incredibly inspiring, and he's the king of reinvention. He went from being an action star to doing comedy to doing, then bringing to the forefront real stories of, unsung heroes that would have possibly gone completely unnoticed, by us in our world. And so he is, well, the penultimate professional to work with, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoy all the time that I've had with him on screen. So we've remained integrally, though, the same people, that we still have the same amount of masti. He still is the only man in the world who calls me Laru, and gets away with it. And to me, he's always Paji, So we have this friendship and this bond that is extremely special. We see each other beyond just being co-stars or being actors. I mean, he's like family to me, and when you get on a set to work with Akshay, you make a film and it's over and done before you even realize that it's begun, because there's a lot of masti that happens on set. There's a lot of, great camaraderie. He makes sure that everyone is taken care of. Energy levels are high on set.
Well, I know you had to wake up insanely early in Scotland, and it must have been freezing there as well. And I don't think you were very
Yes.
successful in convincing Akshay to keep the call time a little later.
No, but I like that. I mean, when you have family and you have kids, and both of us had our families with us, we shot in an extremely challenging time last year. Bell Bottom was the very first commercial film, both domestically and internationally, to go back on the floors, to get the industry to resume shooting. At that point of time, there was no vaccine even in sight. So nobody really knew what the future of getting out of COVID was really going to be. It was a very restrictive, very difficult environment to shoot in. And it made sense for us. I felt that it was safer that my daughter was with me in Scotland rather than back in Mumbai, where I would be constantly worried about, what was happening with her. Akshay had his family with him. And I think when you're a parent, you kind of like to have that work-life balance. I don't mind getting up early, finishing with work so that I come back home and I have some time to spend with my family as well. The only thing, of course, the difference was that it took me about 3.5 hours to transform myself into Mrs. Gandhi. So instead of spending 1 hour in the makeup chair, I was spending 3 to 4 hours in the makeup chair, which meant that I was getting onto set at 4:30 in the morning to be able to start filming by 8 o'clock.
Lara, you always say the right things: to bed early, to wake up early. And I guess that's how you stay so healthy. And, I love reading your interviews and watching them, because I find you so articulate. And every time you reveal something new, and this time I found out that you hate being called Laru. Why is that?
Well, because I don't feel like a Laru. It's just certain things. Yeah.
Nickname goes
I
not
don't, I
so
don't.
bad.
Well, I have a lot of
No,
nicknames which
okay.
I'm not revealing
Look,
on camera today, but Laru is definitely not one of them. It's
definitely
reserved
one to steer clear
specifically
of, unless
only
you're
for Akshay
Akshay Kumar.
Kumar.
Exactly. I got that. I got that. Matrix 4 is coming up, and I was reminded that, you were offered a role in the franchise, right? Sometime, and you couldn't take it up because of the health of your mother, I think. And do you think about that, anytime, any roles like that, that you couldn't take up because of circumstances? And do you think, your career might have taken a different path? Or, is it just us who ruminate like that?
No, I mean, I think, of course, you look at opportunities that came, some that were lost along the way. My priorities are very different from, uh, I know I have a lot of fans who say, we would love to see you in Hollywood and we would love to see you here and there and things like that. But, you have your individual life, and I know what my priorities are. I mean, even today, there are a lot of projects that are being done in the West, out of Hollywood, out of the UK, where they require Indian actors, and there are not enough Asian actors in the US or in the UK that have profiles that are large enough. So they want to cast people with larger profiles. So on an everyday, I mean, I'm being really honest, in the last 5 months, I've received more offers coming in from the West to be part of series, to be part of films. But that is a time requirement that would require me to be somewhere, whether it's stateside or in the UK for 5 to 6 months. And I have a 9-year-old, there's no bigger priority in my life than my child, so it's finding that balance. Like, I could do bell bottom. An environment was created for me by the producer where it was due to bringing your family, bringing your child. She still did school. I mean, she's here with me now, and she wakes up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to log into online school in India. So it's a big commitment, and you need to find balance, but you also need to find satisfaction and peace in your life. And I think for me, I don't want any more disruption than there already is. It's very important for me to be stable, to be peaceful, to be happy with the work that I'm doing.
Well, very selfishly, I think, as one of your fans, we would love to see more of you on screen. Especially, I think, because you're always very intriguing on screen. I don't know how to put it. It's always interesting to see what you're going to bring to the role. Your screen presence is very intriguing. I'm sure you get this all the time.
Yeah, well, you won't be disappointed, because 2020, 2021 has been possibly one of the busiest years of my life as an actor. So I've been that's been shot, which you'll all see coming out now, one after the other. So I'm sure that we'll do many more interviews as well, and you'll see a lot more of me on screen.
Oh, fantastic. I'll be looking forward to that. In that case, then I'll let you go. If you promise me that we're going to be talking soon, and I'm going to be catching more of you on screen. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to connect with you, Lara. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Shilpa. Take care.